ilikuwa imehang, right? And so I was saying today we're having a very serious discussion, something that is very important and something that is very crucial to who we are as a people. And we're discussing about something that is very, very serious and very, in itself. Yes. So why I started with Neria, and those of you who haven't heard Neria, Neria is a song done by Oliver Ntukutsi, and it's one of his most brilliant songs, composed in 2009, and it's talking about a woman, and her name is Neria, and he's talking about how this woman was mistreated by the family of the husband because the husband died. And we're going to talk about something similar, and I know Michelle Midigo has this planned that we are eventually going to talk about GBV, that's gender-based violence, and but today we are talking about rape in particular. So yeah, without further ado, even as we wait for the rest to come, Michelle, karibu sana.
Hello. Rodrigo, unanisikia?
Kabisa tunakusikia.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all well. And I'm your host, Michelle Midigo, kama vile umesikia, from Rodrigo's introduction. I'm Michelle Midigo. And today, I'm privileged to have a co-host, an amazing co-host by the name Rodrigo Mnamjua, the voice behind. Yeah. So, for those who are wondering where Elizabeth is, she's caught up somewhere, but don't worry, she'll be back soon. So, welcome everyone to Youthful Expressions. Rodrigo, should we proceed? We first wait for the rest. Hello, Rodrigo.
Let's continue. They are coming, I'm sure. Yeah, they are coming. I know it's a problem with the time zones. Sana. I have a few friends of mine from South Africa who wanted to come, but it's because of the time zone. So let's just continue. I'll catch up with them and be able to advise them accordingly. Because kuna watu wanajaribu log in and they're not able to. Yeah. So I'm guiding them accordingly in the background. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So as we can all see from the poster, today we have a very crucial topic, and that is rape. We want to address rape. It's something that has been disturbing a lot of young women, young men, old women, old men, yeah. So it's something that we thought would be good to discuss today. So before I can give my definition of rape, I would like to hear from some of us, like what they expect from the show, how they see the topic, and etc. Let me invite someone. Immaculate Adhiambo. Hi, Immaculate, can you hear me?
Hi, Michelle. Yeah, can.
Thank you. So, Immaculate, tell us, what do you think about the topic we are going to talk about today?
Okay. First of all, the topic is a really nice topic because it's something that is happening, and not a lot of people are ready to have that discussion. But glad you guys have taken up the responsibility of actually coming out and talking about it. And so, yeah, I can't wait to listen to what is there to be discussed about it. It's a really nice topic, and I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it and to learn a lot.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Immaculate, for joining in. You're one of our most hot ule mwenye hakosangi tunamwita aje fan base. Thank you so much, Immaculate. Let me hear from Catherine Kiriro. Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Mitch.
I'm so fine. And you?
I'm very fine, thank you.
So I'd like to hear your response about the topic. How do you feel about the topic we're going to address today?
This is one of those topics that normally, personally, I talk about a lot.
Wow.
And a topic I'm not ashamed to talk about. I think part of that reason is because it's something that I've gone through as a person. It's an experience I've experienced. And I'm not one of those people who want to just be victims for the rest of their life, because it does that. Like, it makes you have this victim mentality. So I opted to be one of those people that talk it out, address the issues. So yeah, I'm very much interested to hear what other people have to say on this.
Wow, that's so touching. Thank you so much, Catherine. We hope to hear so much from you. Let me ask Fazla David, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, Michelle, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Sorry, I just joined the call.
It's okay. I just wanted to hear about your view concerning the topic we're going to address today.
To be honest, I have not so much knowledge about it, but
Mhm.
I'm looking to listen in, and like Kathy says, she's someone who has experienced it.
Mhm.
I'm excited to just see what today will bring.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Fazla. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Michelle, and you're looking good as always.
Thank you. I'm trying. Rachawa. I wish you knew where I was. Anyway, thank you so much, Fazla. I'll ask the last one. I want to hear the last view from a male. Mutetia Derek, hello.
Hello, Michelle.
Hey.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Hello.
You.
Hello, can you hear me?
You're
Yes.
in a noisy place, but I can hear you.
Okay. Firstly, I'm so excited about today's show, and I really want to hear like what people's view, their personal points of view concerning this topic, and I'm glad that it's going to educate a lot, if not a
Yeah.
lot, lot of us. Yeah. So I'm just excited to hear like I'm used to my own opinion, so I'm so excited to hear from other people what their thought is about rape and stuff. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited to be on the show.
Thank you so much, David. So, um, like I've heard your views about the topic, and I'm also excited about this topic. It's something that I've wanted to address for so long. Not that I've experienced it, but you have seen victims from TVs, victims around your area, and it's something that really affects someone. So I thought this would be a nice topic to address. Yeah. So before we start, I'd like to ask my co-host, Rodrigo. You're shining, you're
Nilijua tu
glowing.
lazima utania.
What's happening?
Lazima utanitaja.
You're breaking. What's up?
Oh, I'm breaking. Probably it's my internet. Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Thank God. Thank God. Sema niko kwa blanketi. Ndio nimeingia sahi. I'm from work. Yes. Sema sasa. I'm here.
So tuambie your
Yeah.
view about this topic.
Niambie.
Your expectations about this topic
Um,
again. You're one of those
well, I
people when
mean, to be honest,
you're one of those people who walichangia sana tufanye hii topic.
when I am.
So I think you have a lot to say than me.
Yeah.
The floor is yours. Tell us.
Oh no, I mean, I'm looking. To be honest, I'm looking forward to learning a lot because I know this is a topic that the youth are very interested in. I know this is a topic that almost cuts across every single age group, every single race. I think this is the one thing that nobody sort of in quotes complains about in terms of it doesn't discriminate whether age or race or tribe or nationality. It's something that happens all over the world. And so one of the reasons why I wanted us to talk about it is because I realized there are certain misconceptions that need to be debunked, and there are certain rumors out there that need to be, corrected, so that even us as guys, because usually naonanga sana sana guys ndio wanaambiwa, they're responsible, and it's true. Most of this, is perpetrated by the males. Even us guys get to learn, so that we get to know, okay, so what do we need to do right? What kind of mindsets do we need to change? What kind of, especially as an African son, there are things we've been brought up to believe, and things like that. So I'm looking to learn a lot from the guys here today. I see TTC is here. What was TTC? Grace. Let me first of all introduce Grace. Hi, how are you? Grace from TTC. What up?
Hello.
Hi, Grace.
How are you?
The last time I saw you, we were somewhere celebrating.
Oh yeah. Imagine. It's been 2 months now.
What? It's already been 2 months. Yo.
I think so. Tuko November. I don't know.
Yeah, tuko November. By the way, you are very correct. Tuko November sahi. Yeah. That's how many inspire. Hata mimi nimeweka kamera yangu landscape. Anyway, so today we want to talk about something that I believe you are a leader in your own right, and you've been facilitating a group of teenagers as well, so that they can be, no, not teenagers, just people.
Let's say young people.
Yes, young people. Thank you. Young people who are congregating, and it's a collective that's about to talk about things that affect the African child, whether it's the female African child or it's the male African child. And this is something that I think does that, because it cuts across every continent, every tribe, every race, every nationality, right? So, introduce yourself.
Oh, hello guys. How are you? Okay, are you guys not seeing me well? Just give me a second.
We are good. We are seeing you. We are seeing you. We're seeing you. Yeah. Umelos, tuko bado.
Okay. Here I am. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Okay,
Hi.
good. There you are. Hi.
Oh, I don't know. I really. Oh, let me first introduce myself before I talk about the topic. Yeah.
Right,
My name is Grace Kamau. Okay, TCC, Timeless Champions of Change. I'm actually a youth coordinator who leads a youth program for young people, as Rodriguez had mentioned. Yeah, we are a youth-focused program targeting all the youth that any 18 to 35, of course, but then also talking about issues that are affecting us, of course, and trying to see ways to find solutions. We as young people use our skills and see what we can do to solve them. Yeah, instead of having to just waiting for them to happen. So that's what TCC is all about. We focus on inspiring, creating awareness, of course, giving a platform for young people also to communicate. So I'm also happy to be in this call today. When Rodriguez, you put that poster in the group, this is an issue that has, yes, we talk about it, but then we always talk on the negative part of it instead of finding ways to see how we can solve them, because it's something that is going on, repeating itself. Rape has been there, and it's still continuing for sure. Right. And I felt it was a good also platform for me also to learn, hear what other people's perspectives are. That's the way we'll always know how we think. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Rodriguez, for inviting us for this. And I'm hoping more people will join for sure, because this is a discussion that we really need to talk about, because young people are being affected for sure.
It is. And the reason why is because you've seen the kind of debate that we've had, in the group, and the kind of, different mindsets that have been there, and the kind of different, shapes and sizes that the conversation is going into. And so we really need to talk about this. We need to talk about this as the men, because we are now the men and the women who are going to drive the agenda that is now Africa. So whether we like it or not, it's something that we need to be able to deal with.
And you can see from the discussion we had in the TCC group, you see how people are thinking. Everybody has a different way of seeing how rape does. But then also the main question is, what are we also doing about it?
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Right. So I know I'm taking some time. Michelle, Mimi na Grace, we will take all the time in the world. Trust me.
Great. Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle, for this platform. It's good. It's good you guys decided to do this for sure.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Grace, for joining. This is actually, it's an awesome topic. We really need to address it.
Yeah.
Before we can get people's views, definitions about rape, I'd like to give my own definition. So for me, what is rape? For me, rape is forceful, unwanted consent. Yeah. So I think before we get people's views or definitions of what rape is, I'd like to give the government's definition of what rape is. So the government says of matters relating to legal affairs and public prosecutions. They say rape is it's obtaining consent by forceful means or by means of threats or intimidation of any kind. In short, rape is technically forceful penetration with any body part or object, including anal, vaginal, or oral intercourse. So that's what the definition of rape is according to the government, yeah? To the constitution, I'm sorry, yeah? So I'd like to hear different definitions of what they think what rape is. Let me choose one person. Grace M. Hi, Grace M. Hello.
Hi, Michelle. Hi.
Oh, yay! Grace is joining us all the way from Poland.
Hi, everyone.
So, Grace, before Rodrigo akupe story mob, define for us what your definition of what rape is. Give us your definition.
Mine will basically be the same as what you've just said. It's just unconsented sex, really, of any form or any kind. To me, that's rape.
You said uncontented.
Unconsented, without consent.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. I thought that was English, though. My English has become terrible.
Don't mind. It happens, yeah. Jonathan Tito. Hello, Jonathan.
Hi.
I would like you to give us a definition of what rape is. Yours personally. If you're asked today what rape is, what will you say?
I'll say similar to what Grace said. It's any occurrence of any unwanted and without consent sexual contact or activity between two people. So any type, not just like with like penetration or not. So that's what I would say.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Jonathan. So I'd like to repeat the definition of rape before people get confused. So in short, rape is it's technically forceful penetration with any body part or object, including anal, vaginal, or oral intercourse. So which is forceful. So that's the definition of sex, yeah. Motita Derek says, let me see. I define rape as a forceful accusation of sexual favors without consent from the victim. That's so true. Thank you so much, Derek, for that definition. So as we proceed, we have different, what do we say? There are different types of rape, lack of a better word. I think there are different types of rape. There is diminished capacity rape, age-related rape, incest, partner rape, acquaintance rape, and the last one is aggravated rape. That one is for the law. So I'd like to define each one because we don't have much time. So diminished capacity rape it's committed when one person forces sexual penetration with someone who cannot consent to sex, e.g. with someone who's disabled. If you have a forceful sexual intercourse with someone who's disabled or they're not in their right mind, that's what we call diminished capacity rape. You're doing it with someone who cannot consent to sex. So that's what we refer to as diminished capacity rate. The second one is age-related rape. It's also known as statutory rape. It's someone who's 18 raping someone who's 16. They're both teenagers, yeah? So that's what we call age-related rape, with people who are of the same age bracket. Incest is also referred to as rape, especially the best example we can give is uncle and their nieces, parents and their children. There are cases where you see a father rapes a 12-year-old girl who's the daughter, yeah? So that's what we refer to as incest, which is family members having sexual intercourse, which is forceful, which is so bad, by the way. Partner rape is also known as marital rape. For example, we have battering rape involving the imposition of power and control and sexual violence. So that is between a husband and a wife, but maybe the wife is not into it. That's what I can say. But the husband forces her to doing it in the name of their married. I hope that's clear. Rodrigo, do you have anything to say about this partner rape? Rodrigo?
Yes.
Help me here with partner rape.
Partner rape is exactly actually what you said. It's basically that. It's just people who, because I'm married, you have to give it to me. After all, you see, some people misquote the Constitution or want to put it in their favor and say conjugal rights. So they even in marriages, there can be rape. And so that is what usually partner rape is. Or even if you guys are dating or you're engaged, as long as you have a partner and they force you to have sex, that is what is called partner rape. And there's something that you also said. This one that you said about being diminished. Diminished could also mean that you're somewhere in a club and you're drinking and you're having fun with your friends, but you've had too much alcohol or you've had too much drugs to be able to make sound judgment. So the moment you become unable to make sound judgment, that is what we call incapacitated. You have been incapacitated, and so you are not in the right mindset to make any rational decision at that point. And when someone takes advantage of that, that is what is called capacity rape. I think that's what you defined it as.
Yes, yeah, that's true. But do you mean someone?
Yeah.
Do you mean someone who's drunk wants to be
say you were saying something.
Yeah, I was asking, do you mean someone
who's this is
like I'm asking, do you mean someone who is drunk wants to be raped or cannot know when they're being raped?
Listen, here's the thing that we were talking even with Grace at TTC right now. And we were saying, I have no problem with consent. I really have no problem with consent. Like Grace has said, the other Grace, because we have two Graces. So, sorry, I have no problem whatsoever with consent. But the thing is, what's consent to you? You see, because there's something that I usually see that, no means no. And that's very true, and I agree with it 100%. But then what happens when we're together? Let's say you are of sober mind, and then you've come on to me as a guy, and then in the process of coming on to me, we finally end up in bed, and things are happening, and things are going the right places, and you tell me no, and you tell me stop. Generally, the society would expect me to stop right there and then. If I do not stop, that can be considered as rape. So far, I think I'm correct within my bounds. And you see, we have ladies here who correct me very quickly. In a Grace, I can see they're looking at me very ready to pounce. So I was saying, but imagine if the roles were reversed, for example. Imagine if the roles were reversed and the guy is the one who started the whole thing, and then katikatia, the whole story, he says to chill to a nice story. In fact, let me ask Grace. Grace, do you think, Grace TTC, do you think that conversation would go the same way? Sasa, a lady has said, let's stop, and I've stopped. If I proceeded, it would be considered something else. And yet she's the one who's led me on. But then in another situation where it's the guy who's said no, the things that are usually said about us guys is very demeaning. Oh, we cannot perform in bed. Yes, gee, we are doing what? So I want to know, first of all, you are ladies who are here, teach us about what is consent. What is consent? What is the boundary? What is the boundary that we need to observe as guys so that we don't end up putting ourselves in trouble without even having to know it? Because believe it or not, us guys, we only know a few things here and there. Yeah. So teach us. Consent, number one. And then secondly, tell me about that situation, Grace, TTC. What would you do with that situation? Or how would you advise that situation?
Okay. Okay. For me, for sure, better you can identify me as TCC. It's not TTC Rodriguez. Look at you. TCC. Timeless.
Sorry. TCC. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
No, but then I think, I don't know, I think with boundaries, it has to go both ways, of course. No, but then you see, this is the question you've asked. How it looks if it's a male saying no, you know, there's always this perspective that guys are always wanting it, for sure. But then you see, this is a misconception we put out there. And that is why we keep on having so many things to deal with. Because there are things which are only laid out for women. If they happen to women, then that's a very big thing, you know. And then if it's happening to a man, then it's so, people are so casual about it. And that's why you see, if when you were talking about rape, with women, it's well known because we talk out there and we are like a vulnerable. I don't know why it is that we're put in a vulnerable kind of situation as a woman. And that's what now brings out men not talking about it. Because if you say you were raped, then people will look at you. Hauna nguvu hata, as in you could not defend yourself. You know, we were discussing that also in our office today.
Yeah.
But you see, it also comes to the misconception from also us. If a guy tells you no, I think you're supposed to like, no. But then I don't know. I think it's the misconception.
People are, you are even shocked. You are even shocked. If a guy tells you no, you are literally shocked as a woman. Like, this guy has said no. It's something you even want to tell your girlfriends. Hey, he said no. You know, those kind of things. And for me, I think that's double standard. In fact, let me read for you something, Grace, as you're engaging that person who's there. Let me read for you something that is right here that Immaculate has said.
Yeah, just explain.
Consent is when I say yes, that is it. If I'm into it, that's consent. But if we say no, that is a no, don't go further. So here's my question. Listen, Immaculate, tafadhali. We've begun this thing and we are almost heading there. And then all of a sudden, we don't say no. You are the one who says no. So as a woman, of course, I'm not expected to take you seriously. Because if I proceed from there, then that is what is considered now rape. I'm bordering on rape and all that. But if I say no, I will be mocked in the society. So you see, Immaculate, it doesn't go both ways. So you tell me, Immaculate, what do you think? What is consent?
Rod, about your last part that you've said, if a man says stop, he'll be mocked by the society. I think I'd want to like agree with Grace where she said it's a mentality that people have set, like a man always wants sex. And it's something that we actually need to get rid of because it's not every man who wants sex. It's the same way that when you're dating and then someone tells you, can you come over? So your first thought is this guy wants to have sex with me. And that is something because it's not every guy who comes into your life to have sex with you. It's different. So I think consent should go both ways. If a guy says no, a no. If a lady says no, it's a no. Stop it. Don't say ati sasa unajifanya aje and you want it. No. I think you should just I think when it's consent and someone says stop, you should respect that person's decision. Whether it's a male, whether it's a female, doesn't matter. And okay, that mentality of a man cannot as in haizi kata like to have sex with you. Like I don't know, we should just it's annoying even talking about it. So just
exactly because you see for me Immaculate, for me, and to be honest, for me it just borders around girls being double standard because you say you guys are vulnerable, but then when someone likens vulnerability to weakness, you say girls are not weak. And then when I say, when I say no as a man, for me, it's taken up so badly, and people are wondering. I was doing a social experiment, Immaculate, and of course, I know Michelle is preparing for questions. So I was doing a social experiment, and this is what happened. One day I was dating a lady, and we were out in the street, and I told her, you know what? Pretend you're slapping me. And she was violently pretending, and she was acting like she's slapping me, and we were having an argument on the streets of Nairobi. And nobody came in to help me. But the moment we switched it up and we started talking about, we were arguing, and I threw my hand, we were just pretending. The number of guys who came in, my friend, karibu nitolewe kwa wheelchair. That's how serious it is. So what I'm asking is, why is it that when it comes to this topic, ladies in particular, women in particular, are double standard on this matter?
Julius, I don't know. I think I have, in the way you've said, I have something to say concerning society.
Sure.
Things zenye men go through and men are viewed as, but at the end of the day, even as ladies, we have similar things that the society does to us. For example, if you're raped as a lady and you speak out, people start saying like it's automatic. Like people don't really care whether you consented to it or you didn't. They're just like, kufanya nini? Even if it's late, even if it wasn't late, it was at night. What did you expect? You were dressed like this. What did you expect? There's always something that you have done. So I think we should just change our personal and societal view of this whole thing. We stop putting pressure and expectations on, both males and females so that we can solve this issue. Because at the end of the day, people are just for no good reason. Nanikitu so simple, just listening to someone say I want this or I don't want it. Even if mtu anacheza kids knew that they don't want it, it's fine. What harm is there? Like, don't go further. Kama atataka atarudi tu akwambie sini jokes, kwani ujui jokes. But yeah, so for me, those things are there. It's not just men who face them, and I think yetu ni worse actually. Because you remain with the pain and the trauma, and the society just doesn't care. Yeah.
Right. Michelle, come in. I know Catherine Kiriro has a lot to say. Catherine, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey, tuambie kitu. Tuambie.
Okay, I think here is one thing. The first myth that needs to be debunked is the fact that men cannot say no to sex. That's a myth.
Thank you.
Men can say no to sex, and when they say no, they mean no. And another point is this: anything done after somebody says no, whether male or female, is non-consensual. Anything after that is non-consensual. Yeah, so that should be two factors that our society needs to agree on. But I also come to the points that Grace has made, and these I can speak from experience, that when you go through an experience of rape, like for me, it took me like 10 years to actually talk about it with anyone. So for 10 years, I never told anyone. And I think mostly the biggest reason was the few people I tried to talk to when it happened somehow made me feel like it was my fault.
Right.
Now, here is the thing. I was 12 years old. So until now, I don't understand how it was my fault.
How it's a fault of a 12-year-old.
Of a 12-year-old girl. And, either it's because I talked to the wrong people, I don't know. But I realized over time now, right now, I speak with girls, mostly girls who have gone through rape. And a lot of times I've realized it's something that cuts across. It's like society has been conditioned to react that way. if you are raped, you must have done something to make the other person behave the way either you dressed.
You must have provoked.
Yes, you must have provoked, you know, and that is a very, very wrong. It's a very wrong reaction from society, because it makes people who have gone through that to carry that trauma with them, because they can't talk to anyone about it for fear of being victimized. Yeah.
All right. Michelle, what other myths do you think we should debunk?
Yeah, I have some here. I think I'll state one as we discuss about them.
Discuss about it. Yeah.
We have one myth that says lust and need for sexual gratification controls rapist behaviors. Is that true or false?
Now, I don't want to crucify myself. Yes, I don't want to crucify myself, but what I know is in countries like the US, there's research that has been done to suggest that for some people, for some individuals, it's psychological, and so that's why they are given meds to bring it down. But I cannot speak for fact and say that this is set on stone and this is true and this is like that. Gracie, TCC, hebu tuambie kuhusu hiyo myth, unaonaje? Or anyone.
Hello.
Tuambie.
Okay, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you.
Don't worry with the video, but then I will be with you shortly for video. But this is what I say. Okay, I don't know. They say that there is a psychological disorder for sure, as in that makes someone do that. Now this is my question for sure. How are we even supposed to treat that? As in, how are we supposed to work with that? As in, it's a disorder. Somebody say that they're psychologically, they act on impulse.
Dysfunctional.
Imagine, they just think and just act. Okay, with that, for me, it becomes difficult. But then I feel like it also gives a way in for these other people who do not actually have that psychological disorder for sure. And then
to use that as an excuse.
Yeah, I want to say, ni shetani alinipata, the devil. Really, we blame it on the devil that he did it. Can you imagine that? I don't know. For me, that becomes for me a very difficult thing to say, because I don't know. It's not like he's talking about a mental health, as in a mental disability, a mental problem. Yeah. How are we supposed to deal with that? How are we supposed to deal with that?
I think I've seen the United States. What they do is they have what is called registered sex offenders. And so they've made it so that, okay, so if you say you have that problem, then you have to be a registered sex offender. And so that there's even a national, a national app that shows you all the registered sex offenders in your community, so that when you enter a neighborhood, you can be able to tell, that guy is known for, children and things like that. So that keeps you. Maybe that could be one of the ways that we could debunk it and say anyone who says that this is mental after going for, treatment and it's ascertained that this is it. Yeah, or the checkup. Yeah, they need to be. They need to be registered as sex offenders then.
Yeah. Rodrigo, for me, I think rape is never. It's never about sex or desire. I think mostly it's motivated by the need for dominance, power, and control over maybe the victim. The person who raped the girl, for example, just needs that dominance and power to take control over that girl's life. It's never about sex or desire. Because if it's sex, for example, let me use this example. If it's an uncle raping a niece, you can't say that uncle does not have a wife. Yeah, you can't say it's the desire for sex. It's just the need. What can you say? Let's say it's greed. So for me, I think that's last need you to rape someone. That's so bad.
Okay, I agree. I 100% agree. What's the other myth that you think we need to debunk?
Yeah, women accuse innocent men of rape.
That's actually probably true. I'm
True?
sorry, I'm a guy. I'll yes. There are women who accuse innocent men of rape just so that they can they can exercise power.
No, maybe that woman is not well up here, because how can you know what rape is? How can you just go to the police station and say he raped me? How?
Aya, Ebu, Immaculate, you got her. Immaculate, yes. Hey, ni nani huyu tumujue? Yes, tuambie. Grace naona pia huko. Immaculate hatukusikii vizuri, internet yako iko na shida.
Sorry, about what Michelle has said. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Toa
So,
simu kwa charge. Sema, tunakusikia.
You said Michelle is trying to dispute the fact that women actually report innocent people for rape. Okay, instance like maybe you've got, let me say Rodriguez, let me use Rod. So I've gone to Rod, nimemwambia namtaka, and then Rod anasema ati hapana, I really want Rod. So amenikataa. So the only punishment I can give him, okay, maybe I can't kill him. So nataka ateseke because of the fact that alinikataa, and yet I was willingly giving myself to him. Nitaenda ni report I was raped. Let me tell you this, people are really messed. Okay, rape is something you don't want to go through. No one wants to go through it. It has a lot of drama. Because but trust me, there are crazy women out here. So it's actually true.
Immaculate, stop raping the phone. You're raping the phone. Be careful. There's some people who probably might be talking. We might be talking here and they've been raped. People who could be raped here. Mimi kwanza siaminingi kuna dem anaweza kurepiwa. Ati my boyfriend raped me. Hiyo ndio ulitaka. A stranger can rape you, not your boyfriend. Ati oh my gosh, one time wacheni wafundishe. You know me, I did karate. Just so you know, I did karate. Immaculate, hebu mute hiyo simu yako kwanza. Mute hiyo simu na tupate hiyo rape. She's giving us the raping sound. Unaona za rape imeisha. So like I tell you man, damn, wacheni wafundishe. One of the things I was taught in karate, Charlie hawezi kukurepe unless ameku overpower. Somebody taught us, as soon as the Jama makes an emergency landing on you, you are in control. Finya mguu haraka, finya mpaka mwenyewe atatoka hapo analia nani. Hiyo ni tactic number 1. Technique number 1. Kani kama umekubali. The moment a man is on top of you, woman, you are in control and you can do many things to paralyze the guy. Many things. See me later and I give that information at a charge, at a fee.
Wenye wanataka kwenda training wataenda training ya mtaa.
Mimi nilisoma karate. I have tactics of finishing somebody who wants to disempower you. Rahisi sana. It is the twinkling of an eye. I'm not a murderer. But there are some life skills that women need, and this one I was taught by one of my teachers, that if you are a karateka and umeangukiwa na watu 3, 4, 5, 6, hata kama hauna nguvu, there's a tactic for survival. Lakini most people fall into prey because first they have anxiety. Two, maybe they just get shocked. Shock ndio inawamaliza. Shock tu ukiona mtu amekutolea sura ngumu. Unaisha mpaka sasa unasema tu wacha huyo jamaa afanye kile anataka. But if you train your children to get a certain courage, there's a certain courage that every woman requires in this world. Kumaliza rapist ni dakika 2. Na tena si ati kumuua. Kumaliza tu kumuishisha nguvu na utatoka hapo ukicatwalk. Come on, baby. You thought you got some power. I got you weak. And then unatoka tu unasema ha. Na ushamtoka hapo analia mama yo way. If you want those life tactics, atafi.
Malaika, I think
Kibe sema kitu.
Yeah, Kibe na usianze kunimaliza. Juu nitakubaliza haraka sana. Kumbuka there's a raper.
Akumbuka ni black belt.
Mimi ni black belt. By the way, si uongo, I'm black belt.
Tena I know.
Black belt wa judo. Nilipowacha kufanya judo na karate, mapahali muscles zilikuwa mafuta ilijaza yote. Mtu wa Saudi kidansu kipunch. Hawezi sahau kurusha kidansu kipunch. Hey, satin dachi. Sio here. Ha. Ho! Jabata stukifu kama meruka. Let me tell you a secret. One day, not that my husband can rape me, but one day, alikujanga style ingine ya nani. Vile nilitumia tactic ya karate, nilistukia bwana yangu hajawahi niguza. Hata anianza kunichapa nasema, hey, nakumbuka tu bwana, huyu mwanamke. Na wakati huo nilikuwa nishaona. So I had both power and skill. Hajawahi niguati. Anataka kunimake it by force by fire. Hawezi. Women, you need this skill bana. Rodrigo akianza kuletea sida hapo. Unampatia kidanzu kipande moja. Ha! Shit! Rodrigo hata wewe. Kibe.
Tena na mtaani.
Kibe niongeleze sasa tu.
Tena na mtaani. Sasa kitu Kibe. Wewe na commute. Wacha kwa nita commute, amejimute. Kibe, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, no, I don't know whether Malaika is joking or not.
She's joking. Don't worry. No, she's joking in the sense that she has the style. She's a black belt. That's true. But she's a black belt and she teaches ladies how to defend themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm also just cognizant like how many people actually have that sort of access to learning how to defend themselves. And again, I feel like this just goes back to what we were talking about, which is victim blaming, because it's almost like thinking like I always think of it like this, like kama unaweza kujinunulia simu ya Samsung or iPhone, alafu msee akupigengeta akuibie, it's your fault for having an iPhone. Ungenunua kabambe. So that kind of logic is what I feel is just it's very much wrong, because and for me even I take it like a step further, and I usually tell myself like consent is not just like if like no means no. It's almost like for court where they say like you're innocent until proven guilty. The same thing with sex. For every single stage, you should assume it's a no until you get like a verbal yes from someone who's not incapacitated in any way, shape, or form. And
right.
And can say no. So like for me, it's just like don't go. And it sounds really. I've met guys who, because it's that much of a problem. I've met guys who actually like even take out their phones to like record and say like, are you consenting to like sex right now, and have that on like recording and
yes. Yes, but actually it's needed. You're right.
Yeah. So me, that's sort of my take on it. So I don't think like we should like excuse any form of rape. And even for Jamas, you know, if you're a guy and you say no and they mind akongelele, she doesn't know. She doesn't know she's the one who's missing out on a gentleman.
But you see, Jonathan, see, Kibe, here's the thing. When you actually do that, I like what you said, that every stage you assume it's a no. So every time you go to you're in this stage and now you have to ask, should we proceed and things like that, nanini, and all that. But then, see, here's the irony of things. These ladies, whenever you do that, and I'm not saying these ladies, meaning the ladies that are here, I'm saying metaphorically, whenever you're asking for permission for every stage, do you know they actually get bored and they start quarreling you and things like that? That's why we go to the extreme of even recording, so that in case anything happens, I have evidence that you actually did say yes. But you see, here's the thing. Even if she does say yes in the beginning, towards the end, if she says no, it could still be turned around and said that you raped that person. See, this is the tricky thing about rape, that I needed us to fix it. Because here's the thing, I admit, I am an African son, born by an African father. And one thing I'll tell you, and I speak for myself in this regard, so I know African fathers have failed their African sons, especially with regards of how to treat a woman, how to treat a lady rightly. Most of what I've learned is because of my mother, who has taken time to sit me down as an individual. All right? So I can only imagine guys out here who are thinking, okay, so how am I supposed to go about this? If I keep recording for evidence, it will be used against me, because either way, even if I record the whole thing, one, she could say I said no. Two, she could still turn it around and say he was filming me for his own pleasure and things like that. So whether you like it or not, Michelle, na kina Immaculate, na kina Gracie TCC, na kina Gracie M here, it's guys that are always on that chopping board. And that's what is very annoying. Because Immaculate has said it rightly as well. There are women who just go and frame guys who are innocent. And just because you're a guy, hautajitoa hapo. In fact, in the United States, you are considered innocent until proven guilty. But in the UK, you are guilty until proven innocent.
In Kenya,
so Michelle, that's one thing I think.
In Kenya, you are both.
In Kenya, you are technically guilty. Ni vile tu tunakubembelezanga tukikwambia you're innocent. So yes, you are both.
You know what?
Amewasha camera. Grace, yes.
Permissive society. The permissive society has allowed us to do these kind of things, and sometimes it's just influence. People have become strategists more than genuinists, so nikipenda Charlie nampenda hapa, lakini Charlie hataki kuwa framed, so he wants to keep evidence. And the minute I know that you are trying to keep evidence, I can frame you anytime.
Nitakutega.
Yes. And that's why and then the reasons why people also date, for those who are boyfriends who they accuse them of raping them, plus those who walk in the streets and then want us to kama wamerepiwa. I say people have reasons for doing certain stuff. And I don't want to shock you that even amongst us, there are people who are fremists. Just in case, wacha nijaribu, because the society permits it. It permits us to go around and say, you know what, we can actually use evidence. And where do they say this? Kwa movies. Maybe I don't expect us to even have certain extreme things that people do, like cutting. I'm surprised that it's even around us. People cut. Kwa sababu waliona kwa video mahali. When you want to divert the anger somewhere else, remove it and let some blood chop off. Even amongst us, there are people cut. I was shocked. I just read the other day amongst us. I said, then who is this who is bringing all this? Ndio nasema hata rape. Hiyo story ya kwamba rape, we have both sides guilty, the girls as well as the boys guilty. So that in I think going back to the drawing board, we have to probably think, where did we go wrong? And even if we think, how do we raise our children? Unfortunately, even the society that raises these children is lame. Eh? Mimi during our time kulikuwa na madem wanasema, "I gosh, me, I think I've waited for too long and the kind of man I want I'm not getting. So mimi nashika mimba tu, nashika tu, watataka ni sura mbaya. If anything, bora tu nipate mtoi. Hizi my eyes ifanye kazi, you know?" Hasa mtu kishapata mtu anafikiria hivyo. Then you have illegally begottens. Then katoto ni kafijana because ideally when you went to this mimba, they say that when you enjoy sex, bwana, you get a boy. So apparently they must have done it with all their hearts and wapata mtoto kijana. Upate mkito kijana, awe raised without a role model. The society is lame. And majority probably of the boys, wale wako saizi, they are raised by lame families. Hakuna baba. So unatembea na mguu moja. Eventually utapata dem ako na vitu za beauty hapo, mtoto kijana has grown up seeing all this and they are thinking like, you know what, I'm a boy, no, I'm a girl. So utapata kama hormones zake mingi ama language anaongea nyingi is to suit madem because that is the environment he's been raised on. Alafu akuje, you know, this is the society that's lame. So we must find a way to change the conversation. And I think upon the wakina Pastor Kathy come in because some of these things affect the kids mentally. A kid today cannot be beaten. Akishafika 11 bwana ukimchapa atakuambia mimi mtoto wangu I stopped beating her when she was in class 4. I went to beat her. Then my daughter came and said, alipiga magoti. Akasema, "Father, I can see my mother going to hell straight because ya hasira. Father, can you forgive her first before she raises this stick to beat me?" Mimi nilicheka tu nikaanza kupiga mtoto. Mtoto ananiombea. Saa hizi I told you the other day that nilipata hasira ingine nikamchapa mbaya. Hivyo mchapa mbaya. Mtoto wangu akanithreaten. She threatened me. So this means that kids today do not want to even be told what to do. They want a conversation. So and she even tells me many times, "Mom, you were raised then, I am raised now. Things are different." Right now, she goes onto the internet, a geek, searches things, even the things and like the father, she searches so many things that I don't know. Then they come and challenge me. They say, "Mom, with your masters, and you are about to be a PhD candidate, you don't know this term." So I could not confront my parents like that. Mtoto wangu mama yangu atanichapa siku nyingine hapo mpaka nisahau. How do you do that to your parents?
You can't. You should say.
But today my daughter will call me for a meeting. Sit down. Let's discuss. There is this and this and this. My point of view is this. Can you respect it? I also tell her I respect it. Because I end up listening to her more than me. Yeah, listening to me. Unlike what was there before. But the beauty is, of course, it has worked in the Muzungu society. Probably pretty much. That's what she sees. And it has made her now become so informed that I have to become tactical and strategic even in the way I talk to them. Na society kishakuwa lame hivyo. Wengine wanataka sana to be control, and I'm telling you control is sweet. Power tamu sana. That's why these rapists, if they are not your boyfriend or girlfriend, kama ni rapist wa barabara, alikosa control mahali, labda alikuwa jeopardized na lame society, ikabidi lazima tafute njia ya kutafuta hata msichana mmoja na mbili ama tatu afanye wajue kwamba kuna nguvu. It's so sad.
It is. Na ndio maana tuko na vitu za, na ndio maana we have femicide and all those things. Michelle, tukimbizia all those other nini, because I know we are almost about to run out of time, but I really wanted, of course, Mtawali is here and she's a mother to many. But before Mtawali speaks the final nini, I have to pay advice because she's our mother hapa. What other myths do you feel we need to debunk, Michelle?
Women ask for rape if they dress provocatively or are overly good-looking.
Oh, really now?
Okay, yes, ongea. Grace ongea, ni sawa. Grace ongea.
When we dress, like, for example, you remember the thing, my dress, my choice. So if you come short skirt and you feel it's nice for you, you're asking for it.
Okay, ngoja kwanza, najua mko na ngoja. Tuanzie na Grace TCC. Haya, Grace TCC tuende.
Hello.
Toa yako yote.
Yangu Sayere, I don't know what I can say is this. Why is it that how I wear, okay, I don't know. We were having this discussion just a few minutes ago. And people say they trigger the sexual hormones, but then rape, really? You force me just because I'm wearing how I'm wearing. Because there's this one time in town.
Because they want to be in control. They want to be in control because they know they won't find you. Hawatakupata. Wewe unaonyesha matatizo hapo, material. Alafu unataka kuambia I mean your whatever your inaitwaje kitu cleavage iko chini sana mpaka naona tu kama kuna machonga hapo, na akiangalia chini umevaa nguo imekukaza, ile ukitembea unashindwa hata kupanua mguu because strides zako ni imekonda, umevaa pipe. Hebu niambie, and a man is visual as you walk and can to walk, anaona matatizo inatitazika. Hebu niambie utafanya nini hapo? Mafadhali tu akumalizane na wewe mara moja, na najua hata kupata nguvu itokee mahali tu, halafu atajiambia kwa akili, you know, this is men think differently, atajiambia kweli, at least I found her. So it's true. Why don't you think, angalia Fazla vile ni mrembo. Fazla ni mrembo lakini atakuwa amevaa curtain mzima kwa mwili.
Grace TCC amesema tumpatie minute, ameenda Kurias. Ngoja niko na Grace mwingine. Grace, ebu ongea. Me, I know you want to say something. Say it.
Which Grace are you referring to?
Wewe sasa. What TCC ameenda break. Wende ulikuwa kuja second kwanza. Niambie sasa.
I mean, okay, Kenya sorry. Madam Tawali amesema is what people say, but here's the thing. Kuna wenye you've literally covered every part of your body. Kuna wenye wanakuwa wamevaa buibui. Not to offend anyone, but those are clothes too. So, like unapata mtu mwenye amevaa hivyo, amefunika kila kitu, amefunika mpaka sura, macho tu na viatu ndio unaona. But
yes, there's something Tali has said that is very important. And I think ladies hawajai kuja kuelewa. Men think very differently than the way ladies think. Wewe unaweza kuwa tu umefungwa tu macho, lakini hata hizo eyelids peke yake ndio zina attract wanaume. And there's something, and this is not me defending men. I'm simply saying as a man, men are visual beings. Before we see anything else, I mean, before we see or feel anything else, we see you. Before we feel anything else, we see you. It is what we see that draws us to you. So hakuna siku mwanaume hataki kuambia ati nilikaa hivi chini tu. You know, that's even phrases like I fell in love at first sight. Hiyo ni phrase ya mwanaume. So I think you're right. I mean, nimekukat short. Malizia what you were saying.
Well, sorry.
Sema Grace M. Ngoja Grace M malize. Yaani wewe Grace sema. Okay. Grace M sema.
Juliet, sasa venye unasema what we don't understand, you guys are visual beings, you see all those things. So question from me to you is, you have seen so many ladies. Kwanza ninajua wenye umeona kwanza hata walemavu tuanzie hapo tukiendelea. Why haven't you done anything? Why haven't you done anything so that these other men feel that get that?
First of all, Rod is not a rapist. Rod is not a rapist.
Is it something? Because kulingana na statement yako, nime feel like unaweza anza kusema maybe it's something that we kind of do in our action, like without even knowing it. So what are we then supposed to do?
Apana, you see, this is the thing. It's not that it's oblivious, and I like what you said. That at the end of the day, where Rodrigo, you're also a man, you're also a visual being. So how come today's story rape? At the end of the what I have is hata kama ninaona, there's what I think Grace TCC and I were talking, which is self-control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sema kitu Gracie.
Oh,
TCC,
no,
yeah, TCC sema.
Hatuko tunakusikia vizuri kuna part umepotea kidogo, but then you made your point for sure about the self-control. But then this is what for me I would say.
Oh, kuna part.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, as in for me, this is what I would say. Okay, I don't know if I can call it like my closing remarks.
Sema.
But me, this is what I would say. If we cannot create a safe environment, there was a lady who was talking, was it Immaculate or Caroline? If we do not make a safe environment for people to talk about it, do you know how many people are raped out there and they do not even say, just because one, they fear to be judged. Two, they fear the consequences, depending maybe if it's somebody who is close to you or something, like a father or a relative. But then, kama sisi wenyewe, we cannot create a safe environment for unaona kasi says how we are talking about it freely. We are not on any side, but then we are also not judging in a way that we're only blaming. I don't know, I think it's Grace about dressing code. Oh, Michelle. You see, yeah, so can you imagine, let's say, for example, a young girl has been raped and ule anaenda kumwambia and the first question ataulizwa ulikuwa umevaaje, you know, as in where were you, kwani wewe ndo ulijipeleka. If we have such an environment where if you go report a case like this, instead of people helping you, they look at you like, yo, this is all your fault. Tunaacha kuangalia the culprit who raped. And in the process, alifanya ule akona makosa, the person akona makosa yeye ndo ataachwa. We start blaming the victim actually, you know. So I think it's also a part of us to create that safe environment that if somebody comes to you reporting a case, of course, kuna investigation to know if it's true, but then be in a position to help instead of judging or blaming or now starting asking questions that if you're the one who caused the whole rape case to happen. We forget about the culprits who rape. I don't know, me, if it was my choice, kama hawa tu wako rape, whatever, they would see kwenda jela. No. Cut what makes you sin. Cut what makes you, because these people come back to the community, the same case over and over again. Wanaenda kwa jela 3 months, 4 months, they come back, the same thing. If there's one thing, okay, hiyo kitu mimi kasisha. Alafu unapata the people even who are raped, even young kids, hata hawezi jidefend. Hala nilikuwa nasema story ya karata man. Kuna wengine hawezi hata jidefend. They just left out there and they're just raped with no.
That's what I want you to learn these things, bana. Learn them. Kama life skill. Kama kupika ugali. Kama kupika nini. Yes. You could be at a compromising situation one day and it would help you out. So jifunze tu, mimi najifunzanga everything. Just learn. One day it can become handy. I learned fine art. One day, today, I thank God, tunajenga maposters za AOV na Rodrigo. Jifunze tu something. One day it could become handy.
Okay, for sure. It haita to waste, for true.
By the time, in fact, by the time they are thinking men are the ones who are raping you, they're like, there's a woman. We go to news, unapatikana kwa news. Kuna mtu alijaribu kurepiwa, alitoa karate kicks hapo. Jamaa alifly from top floor. Oh my gosh, I'm living in theory. Anyway.
Lakini hapana, where rape cases are there.
There's something that
Hello, Rodrigo, we lost you.
Amebaki hapo kwa repeat. There's something CD imekwama.
So before Rodrigo comes back, I'd like to say I don't think how you dress it's what leads you to being raped, because we have cases of Muslims being raped.
I think we're saying that's one of the reasons why. Mimi, Rodrigo, just before this woman continues, kuna kitu na shangaa. Wakati wetu watu walikuwa na matatizo flat. Siku hizi watu wamejaza, wamebeba mpaka najiuliza kwani nini watu wanakula mimi sikulangi, you know. siku hizi zimekuwa exaggerated sana mpaka nauliza kwani these days watoto wa siku hizi wanazaliwa na matatizo. I hope you understand me.
Rodrigo amepotea. Okay. As I was saying, I don't think how you dress can lead to someone being raped, because we have kids of the age.
No,
12.
I was saying here's the thing that I've learned of.
Yeah, Rodrigo, you're back.
His computer is raping him.
You're breaking anyway. So like I'm saying,
nakusikia Michelle, sema.
Chama. Like I was saying, we have children of the age of 12. We can't say their dressing led to being raped, yeah. So I think that's a big myth. Your dressing cannot lead to being raped. Dressing wanafaa toy. They should not consider that.
Aya, ngoja, because I know I wanted her to say something but she's left. Okay, sawa. So Michelle, I don't know if you can hear me, Michelle. Can you hear me? Very quickly. I want guys to finish this discussion by 9:30. So very quickly go through the other remaining myths so that we can finish, because I want to hear each one's final word, even yours as the lady who's the host of this show, before we're able to conclude. So very quickly go through them and let us hear them.
Rodrigo, we have the myths and we have steps to take when you're being raped and how to help someone who has been raped. So I think we can go through the last one, then we read the comments so we can proceed. Right. Is that okay?
Right.
So there's this last myth. They say women usually get lubricated during rape. So it means women enjoy being raped.
Hiyo nayo nimekataa. Hiyo ni
sasa utakataje na wewe si woman? Itabidi wamutuulize mwanamke.
Hata nimezima video.
So like they're saying women enjoy being raped because they get aroused or they get lubricated when being raped.
Hiyo ni mpya. Atakuwa na wika anapiga gari. No, I think it's men who misunderstand that when they enter a woman they are supposed to be enjoying it. If anything, in both cases, whether married or not married, single or not single, anytime a penetration gets through you, if there's a way in which don't usiumie, because if anything bado utaumia. So the question of enjoying is pretty much obvious. You're going to enjoy. Ni vile wanakutuka after this guy, papa nini, oi mimba itatokea, oh ni rape, ni merepio.
Well, Grace, did you see? What can you say?
I mean, you're pana. No. How can you enjoy being raped, man? No. It's just that.
And you're like.
TCC.
Nimesema mwambie. Ameweza kusikia ulikuwa unamwambia Rodriguez. TCC. People, timeless, champions of change. CTTC. Ndio ingine inatoka wapi? But for me, no. Hapana, for me nimekataa.
You're not a university. You're not a learning institution.
I know if you're enjoying it, then why call it rape? Rape is to mess up if you don't want it, as in it's not you've not consented to it. So I think for me, no, that I cannot agree. That I refuse for sure.
We have cases they go and say the rapist go and say she was asking for it, she was also enjoying it, I've not raped her, but the girl knows she was raped.
Well, that no, me according to
Catherine, do you have something to say about
May I say yes?
Please say.
Yes, I do. Here is the point. rape has nothing to do with whether the woman enjoyed the sex or not.
Yeah.
Rape has everything to do with whether the woman gave consent to the sex or not. So whether if she did not give consent, lubrication is basically a part of a body's reaction. So getting lubricated does not mean the person is
biological.
Yes, it's
It's
a biological
you're right.
reaction. And
You're right.
so it doesn't mean the person is enjoying the deed, and it also doesn't mean that now because I've become lubricated, that is my, it's like I'm saying yes. The fact remains I did not give consent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so rape has nothing to do with whether I've enjoyed the sex or not. It has everything to do with whether did I give consent or not. If I did not, even if I climaxed, I had 10 orgasms, it's still rape.
Yeah, it's still rape.
It's still like rape for sure.
Yeah. So that we agree, it's rape and it's a big myth. So people who say that, stop. Rodrigo, I'd like to read the comments. Is that okay?
Yeah. Me, I'm learning. So wait, before you read the comment first, tell us what do we need to learn as guys? What do we need to learn as? I mean, natetea sana wanaume, because to be honest, these are things we need to learn. And I'm being honest here. There are so many things we don't know about what's borderline rape and things like that. Because for me, this conversation would have gone a lot differently if I was the one hosting. So what do you think we need to do, honestly?
For you,
Because before you read the comments, as in, I want to hear every woman, but if a lady is raped, what's the steps that she needs to take? Then I'll take every woman who is in here to give guys advice on what to do with regards to that. So what do we do to do as what do you guys need to do as ladies when you discover either someone has been raped or you have been raped?
Yeah. Thank you. So steps to take if you are being or you were raped or if you are being raped. So first you get to a safe place, like you get far away from the attacker. If it's a hospital, maybe you get back home, or you go to maybe like you just get away from the attacker. You get to a safe environment, and you should not brush your teeth. Don't go home, brush your teeth. Don't go and bathe. Don't go or even change the clothes immediately. Immediately go to the medical office. Then you go to report the case, because that's how they will get to collect the evidences that they need. Yeah. So don't go and shower. Don't even drink anything. Straight after you have escaped from the attacker, straight go to somewhere you get help. Go to a medical facility that is next to you. Yeah. And then report the attacker. Get medical attention, because rape, it gives you both mental and physical trauma. You must get the medical checkup. That's a must. When you report the attacker, you should describe everything as it happened. Like don't exaggerate and don't say little. You just say everything as it happened, so that you can help even the CIDs or anyone who is investigating the case to get the attacker easily. If you have seen the face of the attacker, you can also describe him or her to the police or to the National Sexual Assault Office. Yeah. So I think those are the steps you should take. But the major one is you should not shower. Don't remove those clothes. Just go to the hospital or to the police station as you are, as everything as you are. Yeah. Rodrigo, do you have anything to add on steps?
I don't want to add, because I feel this is something that is entirely, and like I said, I was here to learn. I was here to understand what is happening, and I'm glad that I'm learning. And there's something that Derek Mutavia has said that I really want to agree with. It's that no matter how much we try and bring our side as men, this topic will always remain in favor of women, because you are the ones, ladies are the ones, females are the ones who go through this a lot. But in the same breath, I also want to say that those of us who are guys who are here, who are listening, we want to know and we want to understand, so that if we can make the world a better place, because believe it or not, eventually I'm going to have a daughter, hopefully, right? If I don't have a daughter, I'll probably have a girlfriend. And I'd want them to know and tell me, hey, Apo, I'm a cross-line Buddha, you're almost bordering on rape, my guy. So that, you know, these discussions keep continuing so that guys like us, we keep learning and unlearning and learning and unlearning, because that is the story of life. And hata sisi kama wanaume, we call for these discussions because we feel it is important, right? And with that being said, I don't, Michelle, you wanted to read comments. Read comments. I like what Fazla said, but anza kwanza na hiyo huko juu. I see kuna ile iko huko juu kabisa.
Okay,
Before we
so,
go to parting shot now.
Okay, so we have one from Otavia Derek saying, I define rape as a forceful accusation of sexual favors without consent from the victim. And he asks, wait, can't the wife force the husband? Like, oh, if you are a woman, can you force your husband to have sex with you, and will it be considered as rape? That's a question for you, Rodrigo, yeah? So the next one is from Immaculate. Consent is when I say yes, that is it. And if I'm
that question is from Goja. That
hey, what? Yes.
hiyo swali ni ya wanawake, si yangu.
Okay, Gracie will answer for us. Gracie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, repeat the question. Sorry.
They ask, can't the wife force the husband to maybe have sexual intercourse with them? Like, will it be considered as rape?
For sure. I think yes. It doesn't mean that you're married when, okay, when I answer this, I'm not married, so I don't know how it works. But then you're entitled to eat. It doesn't mean that every time you want it, I want it. So I don't know, I feel like that would be rape. It's just that now when it comes to such kind of rape, you go to, as in if you go to report it, people will ask you that question. You're married, as in you're supposed to. But I think I don't know. I feel, but then it's still rape. It's just that it's a different form of, because as what you've described, rape is if you're not up for it, if you've not consented to it, then that's it. So for me, I think I would say it is. I don't know. But then then people would argue and say if you're married, you're entitled. I'm not sure. I don't know. That's tricky.
Yeah. We have another comment from Catherine Kiriro. The moment anyone says no, anything after that is considered non-consensual. The idea that a man cannot say no to sex is a myth that needs to be debunked. We have another one from Derek, and he says, why is it considered fine when a lady says no, but the opposite when a girl says no? I think that one we answered. So another one is saying, one should not be made to be someone's fault. If only the society can embrace a different mentality, then many people will come out to speak about rape. So instead of the society making it feel like it's the victim's fault that they were being raped, that's when people will come out and speak about their rape cases, maybe. Yeah. There's another one that's saying, how will we help a boy child come out to speak about rape? Rodrigo, feel free.
Hear me? Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Yes. How would you help a boy child come out and speak about rape? This is how you do it. First of all, make it all right for them to be vulnerable, because that's the one mistake that I believe women, not just of Africa, but in the world. You keep saying women keep saying, we want guys who are sensitive. We want guys who understand our emotions. We want them to cry with us. And then when I finally cry, there's a whole, I promise you, if today I cried, today in this session, that would be the end of the name that is Rodrigo. Because I would be crucified left, right, and center at Aya, kumbe Rodrigo analianga na vile amejaa manywele nyingi kwa uso wake. Seriously. So make it all right. Make it all right for guys to express themselves. And like I said, African fathers have failed the African sons. So sometimes you will need to be patient with us men even as we are learning, but that's not to excuse anything that, anything bad that men do. So make it all right for the boy child to share make it all right for the boy child to be vulnerable. That's how you start. That's step one. Yeah. Continue, Michelle.
Yeah, another question is, I think there's desire involved in rape. This person, if at all he or she is married, maybe alikuwa ameomba akanyimwa na wife or husband, ndo akaona there is an easier prey elsewhere. What do you guys think about that?
I think that is a lie. I think that is not true. I think if you're having marital problems with your wife or with your husband, mukioana, were we there? Is you us? Is we you? Go deal with your things. Please. I don't think that's true. And if it is, it should be stopped. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have Catherine is saying sexually motivated rape is rare. Mostly is power and dominance motivated. Jonathan Kibe said, great discussion. I need to go. Oh yeah, we excused him. He was going for another meeting. Immaculate says, why would someone want to rape anyone? So some to ask mrembo because someone can't put himself in order.
Can I answer that?
Yes, please.
No, it's not that we can't put ourselves in order. Is that you need to understand this one thing. Mind you, there are women who enjoy being raped because it's a fetish.
No, that's another thing.
I have posed for I have posed for dramatic effect. There are women who enjoy the fetish of being raped. That's why it is very confusing. But as we keep going along, we keep starting to understand. Can I give an example here that is probably going to discuss a few people here? I have a friend of mine, and she's a woman, and I love her to bits. She cannot, for the sake of anything, she cannot get off sexually if you don't vomit on her.
Yeah.
Now, sio kuvomit peke yake, you have to vomit inside her mouth. So, like I said, things are weird, my people. It is no longer the same.
We took a ground in a different. Wow.
Tafadhali, please. And these are my friends. I have another one who, and excuse me for this, prepare your ears. She cannot get off unless you urinate on her. These are friends I know personally. Those are females.
Let me say that's demonic.
That's on another level. Wow.
Proceed with the questions. Moving on swiftly.
We have another saying. Oh, Catherine saying, hata nikitembea uchi, no one has the right to take anything from me by force. If I don't want, I don't want. My dress, my choice. Yes? Rodrigo, do you have anything to say about that? Jinyi mnapenda kuona sana.
Hapana, wacha nisijieke kwa shida.
Okay, let me proceed to the rest. The rest are just comments. What do you think should be the sentence for anyone found guilty of this? Then the sentence. I think it's 5 years in jail, or am I wrong? Rodrigo, tell us.
No, it's not what is there. Ameuliza, what do you think? So, inye madam, wapi Immaculate, what do you think should be the jail term? The consequence of it?
A jail term, Apple. Someone should be castrated. Why do you go around raping people, whether man or woman? That thing that you're using to sin should be cut off.
Sasa woman utakastrate wapi? Utakastrate
For
nini?
mental sake, I beg hey, I strongly oppose that. Strongly oppose that. Hey, that's sexy. Money.
That's Old Testament.
Why would you castrate someone? Why?
No, we need to go back to the days of Moses.
No, why would you
Unfortunately.
castrate someone? Let me ask. On what basis would you castrate someone?
And
For
sex is
Christ's
a
sake,
need.
do you know how painful that is? I'm not castrated, but I'm
already feeling castrated.
Why would you castrate someone?
Why, bwana?
Add on that.
Women
Then
utakastrate
why would
nini?
you rape someone?
Only men.
Utang'oa
No.
reli.
Yes, it's biased. Why is it that it's being castrated, which means it's men? Yeah? Why is it that someone should be castrated and not a jail term? Why not say, not talk about a lifetime jail term, but not castrating? Christ, not castrating, no.
Tumekataa bwana wewe.
Hiyo ni bias. Hiyo ni bias tayari. Women utakastrate nini? Utakastrate nini? Munijibu. Women, what are you gonna castrate? Na iko huko ndani.
Immaculate, utakastrate nini?
Already we are fighting against genital mutilation. Alafu sasa, afadhali, I like that what this guy says, that you can even probably say a long life jail term. That would work. Lakini castrating unaumiza physical. Na wewe kuumba hiyo ni Mungu amekuumbisha. Na like I said, some of these people, itakuwa ni rape ndio, lakini again, because of the sick society, it has led to that. Imagine if that rapist was your son. Alafu you see your son being castrated. Utasikia uchungu.
Lazima. Unaona mpaka Derek ameinuka. Grace, you wanted to say something?
Maybe I'm listening.
Michelle, sema, comment ingine?
Fazla David says, I feel like it's worse when this happens to men, as then they can't speak out. So it's easy to go under depression. That's so true. And sometimes boys are raped at a very young age, and this affects their relationships in the long run. Catherine says, in marriage, there is something called dutiful sex. This happens when one or both is not feeling it and one needs it, but even dutiful sex must be consensual. Mutite Derek says, I'm in the show with a friend named Dan, and he said hi. Oh, hi Dan. Thank you for joining.
Hasa ngoja, unasikia vile madem sasa washa complicate sasa kitu ingine. Hasa ameintroduce another aspect of sasa kwa marriage kuna kitu inaitwa dutiful sex. Sasa nasikia sasa. Tuendelee tu ni sawa.
Catherine said, okay. But the fetishes are mostly born from having been raped in the past and not dealing with it. Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So, we should go to how to support a rape victim. That should be the next thing we should discuss before we close, yeah? Rodrigo.
Sorry, just get your comment.
Comments. Tumemalizana na comment.
Oh, you were saying that you wanted to say something about how to support a rape victim. Okay.
Yeah. So when you have a rape victim around you, or you meet a rape victim, the first thing you should do is listen to the victim and let them know you care and you're there to support them. Don't let them, after they give you one part of the story, you're like, guy, ulienda huko usiku, what were you wearing? You know, like you're interfering their story, and then they feel like you're already judging them even before they start narrating their story to you. So first of all, you listen to the victim, let them know you're on their side so that they can be able to open up. Yeah. The other thing is you you should keep in mind that it takes time to overcome a rape case, because rape gives you mental and physical trauma. So for the person first to overcome it will take time. So be patient with the victim. Don't start overdoing. Like when they tell you, you're immediately going to report, and maybe they don't want to. So you should listen to what they want first, because they are not mentally okay. So you should learn to listen to them and be patient with them. Then you should respect their choices. If they say they don't want to report, they don't want to report. Let's be like acting like the way we say with Rodrigo, that's not my story to tell. Them going there and saying, I have a friend who was raped. No, and the friend doesn't want to report. So you first respect their choices. The other thing is, if the victim is considering suicide, consult help immediately. Even though it's a psychologist around your area, or maybe an adult, if it's maybe a rape case with someone who's young, if the person is considering suicide, mostly maybe let's say with men, because they can't speak it out, but they want to commit suicide, consult help immediately, because that person is not okay mentally. Encourage the victim to report the crime, so that maybe justice can be served to the person. If the person does not report, then
I have a question. Can I ask? Niko na swali.
Uliza. Michelle anaogopa kukuambia uliza.
In your life, have you ever thought of going to hospital to check your mental status? Do we even do that? Because ideally, some of these people who become rapists could be suffering mentally, which is, I think, probably 80% or more. Yeah? Like that's why I'm saying that in this society, pretty much it's sick. And some of these things arise because we've not addressed them at one point. Because it's not nice.
Yes, now we can hear.
And check out. The other day, my daughter was telling me, Mom, take me somewhere so I can check my mental health. Have I even thought about that? See, tunakuwa tu raised. We are raised. And if things were tapped way before, people would be living in a healthy society. Not just healthy in terms of your nutrition, but health also mentally. She woke me up. I was like, you know what? I need even to check myself. Although we say that everybody is mad at a certain percent, hata Fazla na hii urembo yake ako na madness fulani tu. Pastor Catherine ako tu na madness fulani tu. Ile inafanya saa zingine pastor ako hapo anasikiliza watu. Pastors listen people. Other people need to if I check their mental health, because they deal with so much. And yet they believe that they're still okay. Do we check our mental health? Right from way when we are when tiny. Watoto wako unapelekana kwa daktari wa akili. We don't. You assume that they're living well. Utangoja mpaka akili lipuke ndio anze kusema ni kubaya. Yet you would have saved it way before. Last in close, now I have to throw my parting shot. There's a video that somehow accidentally found itself on my phone. This woman was crying about how he lost his son. This son was not communicating. So she didn't even know what was going through his head. But she assumed that she was okay. He was okay. I personally assume the people I love around me are okay. Yet they could be suffering mentally. And one day it blows up and they do something so bad. And then later on they regret. Have we even cared to see these rapists? Kuna kitu wanasafa hata kabla tuwapeleke kwa jela. What is it they are suffering from? We treat them mentally or check them up. If the whole society dealt with this at a very early stage, I don't think we'll be having rapists. All now we have to deal with this. Let's understand. What to understand? Okay, let's take them to jail, etc. Yet this person is as valuable to God as it is to that mother who gave birth to this woman. So I tell people, after getting this wake up call, everybody needs to be checked. Check your mental health. Are you okay? You could be reacting to situations, but because you're like, mental health, ni wale wenda wazimu tu, tuachie watu wa Mathare. Why should we wait until Mathare case? Because if we dealt with it, start looking for the symptoms, deal with them when they are still, way early, would not be having people who are so fast, so wild to us. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Thank you so much, John.
Sawa, thank you, Mtash. Thank you so much. Grace, I know you have to leave as well, so I want to very quickly go to parting shots. Michelle Kosawa.
Yeah, I wanted to finish.
So Grace, tell us your parting shot.
Yeah, let me just say, for me, I'm going in the next 7 minutes. I need to be joining some other meeting, but this is what I would say for me. We've talked about the rape cases. We've talked about what it's cost, but then if you see right now, the few of us who are in the call have discussed about it. But what will we do out there? Because the rape cases are still continuing. For me, I feel like if we're able to create a safe environment where people can talk about it and report the cases without fear of judgment and fear of the consequences, then that's a good first step. But then after that, then what will we do? I think is now to support people who have undergone the rape experience and be able now to show them the love, because it's just that we did not have time to talk about everything, but then we've talked about till where the rape happens. After rape, what next? People, that's why there's somebody who mentioned about depression and people commit suicide because they're not able to live with themselves, and also they're not able to live with themselves in a way that even people around them, instead of supporting them, instead of helping them cope with the situation they've got, they are judging. They don't want to be associated with them. You see someone, you just want to talk ill about it. So I think it's also to create awareness to people, make it a safe environment. People can talk, report, and then from there, for me, and we know we are not the law, there's nothing much you can do in that part, but then of course to push and advocate for it. But then after that is be able to support and also be there for this person, because depression is that's another topic also I'm thinking of doing. Depression and mental, people are committing suicide due to many reasons, but then also such rape cases caused it. So I think that's for me. I am so glad I really joined this. I really wanted to, because it's something I also want to talk about, because people just brush it off. So I'm thankful for the platform. And you guys, we can continue this discussion. Rodriguez already knows the point. TCC, we were talking about it. Now this is where we come up with solutions of what we can help these people, So I'm very grateful, Michelle, also for coordinating it so well. And thank you everyone for participating. I'm really grateful. Thank you.
You really enjoyed. You have done us an amazing job. Thank you so much. It was an honor.
Yeah, I will see you soon, and you will see me soon for sure. We'll be inviting you somewhere for sure. Okay, do have a lovely night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Rodrigo. Okay. Before Rodrigo comes back in, the last point is to support the victim by going maybe to their medical sessions, because we psychologist, yeah. So you support them by going with them, encouraging them so that they can heal events. Yeah, that's all about rape. I hope we can be the change that we want, and we should help the society understand, and we should cut off these misconceptions and myths about it. They're not good.
Right. Thank you. But Bado Jamaliza, I need your parting shot as well. But before I do that, Fazla, very quickly, what is your parting shot today?
Thank you, Rodriguez. Me, what I want to say, I'm actually on the side of the boys getting raped. I've had experience, and I've talked to many boys who I do our CSR with, and these are boys who are raped at the age of 7 to 9, and right now they're fighting depression. So I think that's a discussion we need to have. And what I will tell guys, the only time that women, your wife feels like they need to rape you is if you're a maziwamala. You don't expect to stay at home. They feel like and expect this woman to come and bring everything to you. Whoa, kotu hapo. Sometimes men give women that power to do that, but that's a topic for another day. I don't want to be partisan. That's just if I have offended anyone, I'm sorry, but that's just my thought.
Thank you so much.
I love it. I love that you can be able to give your facts, and we don't judge anyone. I don't want to talk to Immaculate kwanza. Immaculate ni parting shot. Derek, tupatie parting shot yako baba. Because I think me and you are the only guys in this discussion, bana, wenye tumekaa tu hii. So you are a guy like me. So before I speak, I know you can speak something.
Mimi kwanza tuanze, nimenunua bundles mara 3, lakini nashukuru nimefanya kitu hapa.
Usijali baba.
Mimi leo nimelala kitu kubwa sana. And acha niseme ile kitu kubwa nimelala is kama boy child, we will never win this case.
I agree.
I will forever have to live with this. Kama boy child, hautawini. So the best thing kufanya wapendwa, let us be safe mahali tuliko, and like okay, we have to practice self control wherever we have to practice self control. Yeah, and I'm really grateful, by the way, for this show. I actually quite excited about this show. Kwanza wakati nilikuwa nasikia kitu fulani akaleti hiyo, nikasema I have to stand up. Anyway, I have taken it somewhere at some point. If you have offended some in the process, I'm really grateful for this. Thank you.
Right.
Still,
thank you so much. Yeah.
Tunataka pati ya kuambiwa boy child akiwa anafanyaga. Tunataka kuambiwa hata ni story gani atapeana kubalike.
Kubalike.
Almost always boy child akikana story, the first question, how did it happen? How? Yeah?
Mwanaume mzima kama wewe aje sasa.
Kuna mpaka leo nirekiwa. So yeah.
Manze bana, sure.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, right, Immaculate. Final thoughts.
Okay, for me, I think what I'll tell the people is, let's take care of ourselves. Let's love each other. Let's respect each other. Like, let's be our brothers and sisters keeper. Usifanyie mtu Kenya hawezi taka kufanyiwa. Imagine that person is your sister, is your brother, mother, is your daughter. Like, just put yourself in someone else's shoes. Don't make someone go through something you wouldn't want to go yourself. And then to anyone who has gone through rape, don't feel like you're not have with time. Take your time to heal. Take your time, even if it's forever, because the wounds never go away. They never go away. So take your time and not choose someone in this society. No one should ever put you down. No one should ever tell you what does not. You're good and you're worth everything. And to the boy child, I think the society should actually should also empower the boy child, because we've empowered so much the girl that we've forgotten about the boy. So make space for the boy. Tell them it's okay. It's okay to express your feelings. It's okay. We all go through this. People get raped. boy gets raped. So can you just listen? Can you just get people who will be like, okay, I am here to stand with the boys. So I'm here to listen to them. Listen to these people, because the moment we don't listen to them, we make them feel like they're always the ones who are like raping us. Who are raping the boys. So let us just have a bit open minded. Let us all be open minded and give these boys a chance to express themselves. Because even stories, yeah, let's just pray for each other. Let's take care of each other. Let's respect each other. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Catherine, your final thoughts before we finally give Michelle and now conclude the show. What are your final thoughts, Catherine?
Okay, my final thoughts will be this. Firstly, to us as a society as a whole, that this should not be a taboo topic. Talking about rape should be something that we have created safe environments, be it churches, be it schools, where we are able to talk about this topic openly, so that victims don't feel like they have to hide it. It's not something to be ashamed of. And then for somebody who has undergone rape, I think what I would say is don't let that one experience define the rest of your life. Like, just allow that to be part of your story, but not your story. Where it's not your only story. That's what I would say to somebody who has gone through rape, that just because you are raped, it doesn't mean that one experience becomes your story for the rest of your life. And it's okay to talk about it. I think the moment you don't talk about it, you have given your rapists even more power than just that one event. Because now you've given the rapist power over the rest of your life. Because now he determines the choices you make. He determines which course your life takes. And that is too much power to give to one person. And to people who are supporting people who have undergone through rape, I would say this: there's a very big difference between empathy and pity. And most people who have undergone through rape don't want to be pitied. Actually, I think that's one of the biggest reasons why people don't talk about it. When you see the pity, because pity makes the person feels like they are a victim for the rest of your life, as in it just brands you. You'd hear people talking about somebody who's undergone through rape, and they talk about the rape victim. I am not a victim. I'm a survivor, you know. So learn the difference between being empathetic and pitying the person, and choose being empathetic over pity. Yeah. Thank you.
100%. I agree 100%. And of course, to conclude this discussion, the host of this show, Michelle, what would be your parting shot, even as we conclude the show, as the host of the show?
For me, I think Catherine has said it all. But I like to say, if you're a lady, trust your instincts. If you feel when you're going to a certain, trust your instincts. Be safe. It's better to be safe than sorry. Yeah. And the next thing, I think we should educate, take this situation from a different point of view. Instead of judging the victims, they should understand ways on how to help them. Yeah. And we, as the Youthful Expressions family, we should be the change we want. When you find a certain situation, try to do that for the victim. All they need is a listening, not a judging tongue. Yeah. So don't judge them. That's not your work. Your work is to, because they have gone through so much. They have judged themselves. People, their family judge them. So the last thing they need is judgment from you. They want to be supportive. And also, we should not undermine the men's feelings when it comes to this. Like, we feel like it's abnormal for them to be raped. It's something that people should understand. It's normal and it happens. Instead of judging the men or trying to make them feel inferior, they should try to help them and help them to address the issue to someone who can help them. Yeah. And I'd like to thank you all for joining. Thank you for coming to support us. Thank you for coming to discuss this issue with us. The LV family, I thank God for you guys. Thank you for joining. You've made this session awesome. Kama kawaida. And for Derek and Grace, thank you all for coming. And Rodrigo, thank you for doing this show. You've done it well. Thank you so much, and hope to see you guys next time as we discuss facts about gender-based violence. Yeah. So thank you all for joining in. See you next time.